be found in over 60 Meijer stores as of the end of this month. Super pumped about that. Our second facet to our business is the B2B. And this is our developed and tested private label capability, which I'll be talking to you about here in a couple of minutes. I wanted to focus on this slide because I wanted to let you know how much we love our community. Our community had a huge impact on our growing up and our development as kids. We really needed it. It made a huge impact on us. So now we take an enormous amount of pride to give back. Each one of us has a certain cause or a certain organization that we're passionate about. I, for example, work with several military organizations and clubs to support military families, military spouses, children, everywhere that we're stationed. My husband is still an active duty soldier. He's going on 22 years now. And I'm actually speaking to you from Germany because we're stationed here in Stuttgart. This is our latest duty station. So here's our B2C facet. As I mentioned before, we're an established e-commerce business and have 4 main lines of products. We sell these directly to customers and we also wholesale. We have 7 different learning blankets. They're each themed with a different learning theme. They're super soft and lightweight. Kids love to drag them around. The favorite one by far is the USA map that you see there and our sight words blankets. The parents love that one. Our tapestries, loved by teachers in classrooms, and now specifically during COVID by homeschooling parents and educators. They're super light and very easy to put up anywhere. We have 2 themed weighted blankets specifically made for toddler weight. Sometimes that's a little tough to find, but we definitely carry that. And 10 styles of car seat ponchos, which prevent bulkage under the seat belts and definitely allow for a much safer ride in a car. All this, showing you all this just to say that we have an effective and proven design and manufacturing process that's allowed us to be very successful in e-commerce thus far. Now, our second facet that is that our focus is our expansion into B2B private label production. We offer a full spectrum of services. All of the functions are done in-house by us. All products are designed by us, so they are unique. They're one of a kind. No one else will have them. You will be the only one that will have that design. We're also able to customize this process to work with you as much or as little as you want. Our proven manufacturing process is simple, it's effective, we're very responsive, and we're super easy to communicate with. We're experienced in working with several different textiles, and we also have made several different products for our current B2B customers. So as our Novoba corporate allies, I have 2 asks of you today. First, let us send you a sample so you can see and feel the quality of our product and of our work. And secondly, if you like our samples, give us a chance to pitch to you and develop a few concepts for you to see how our business can best serve yours. Thanks so much for listening today, and please let me know if you have any questions.
Great. Thanks, Barbara. Let's see if anyone in the audience has a question before we proceed. Feel free to raise a hand or put a question in the chat, whichever you're comfortable with. I'll ask a question. Well,
I think you're muted, Mr. Torres.
Okay, let me try. How about now?
Now we hear you.
Great.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. First of all, I want to thank you and your husband for the service to the United States. We really appreciate it, and that does not go unnoticed.
Thank you.
Very, very much proud to work with people like you. I'm from T-Mobile, Supplier Diversity, and my question for you is, what is the largest sort of order that you've sent today to the commercial sector, to the business sector. Can you tell me sort of the size and scope of your orders? Are you sort of more in the small to medium size, or have you done any work with corporations?
Our biggest order thus far has been with Meyer. And the quantity for us, obviously it's large, but I'm sure it's on a very small scale. It was 3,000 blankets that we sold them, that we packaged in cases, that we packaged in retail packaging, and it is being received right now. And we have 2 more orders brewing up in line right after this one. That is our biggest order so far.
Okay, congratulations. All right, thank you.
And I think you also shared with me last week that this is going to be a featured item on the end cap in Meyer as well, right?
It is. This one is going to be on an end cap, so we're super excited. And our 2 other ones that we're working on are actually going to be 2 projects for their diversity months that they're going to, I think, display at the front of the store where they have their diversity focus. So we're super excited.
Congratulations. That's a great win. Thanks for sharing that success story with us. All right. Any other questions for Barbara?
Just a quick follow-up. Do you happen to have an association with a nonprofit organization that if people wanted to donate your blankets to, say, Ukrainian kids arriving in Poland or other countries, if they could donate, purchase the blanket and have you guys ship them to that nonprofit organization that would then make sure those blankets get in the right hands? Have you thought about that at all? Is there anything in the works?
I have thought about it. There's nothing in the works, and here's why. Here in Stuttgart, which obviously, as you look at the map, we have Poland in between us and the Ukraine. We have just started receiving refugees here in this city. And actually our military community here has been helping with housing folks and providing them with whatever it is they need, mainly housing. That is mainly what they need. So we're inundated with calls from the East as to what people want. Here's what the need is currently is medicine, medical supplies, and obviously, weapons and ammunition, which I can't provide, but medicine, medical supplies, those kinds of things are in need right now. They have received, and I see pictures based from folks that deliver things and make the fundraisers here and then deliver things over there. They have masses and masses and masses of clothing and of shoes and of things that kids and adults could use right now. But what they don't have is they don't have food, they don't have water, and they don't have medical supplies. So I would love to in the future absolutely do something like that. I haven't thought that far. Right now I think people are focused on a super immediate need, which is to house folks and to get them some of these
basics,
main things that they need.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question and good response. Thank you, Barbara. All right.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a question before we move on? Okay. Next, we're going to hear from Michael Buckner. Michael, are you ready to share your screen? You need to unmute, Michael.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Let me just click on my USB to open it up. Bear with me 1 second, please. All right, can everyone see this?
Not yet.
Minimize and go back. All right. Okay, can everyone see this now?
No, when you select, just print your screen up in the upper left, you need to click on the image of your screen and then the lower right, click again.
Okay, what about now? Can you see this now?
Yes, you did it.
All right. Well, let me introduce myself. First of all, my name is Michael Buckner Sr. I'm the owner of Deer Management Consulting Company. I have more than 20 years experience in the area of human resources, business management, and organizational training. The motto for my firm is direction, effectiveness, accountability, roles, and responsibility. Before I begin my presentation, I'd like to share a brief story with the audience. Recently, I visited a major store chain here in Wisconsin, where I live. As I entered the store and I was walking down the main corridor of the aisle, I noticed a group of employees a few feet away from me turned, chatting among themselves and laughing and so forth. So as I got closer to the group, one of the employees in the group turned in my direction and I said, "Sir, excuse me, can you assist me?" And the person immediately turned in the opposite direction and began walking away from me very quickly. So I called out to him again. I said, "Sir, excuse me, can you assist me, please?" And the person walked even quicker and they darted into one of the aisles of the store and I never saw the person again. I share that with you because my presentation today, while I specialize in education, I'm going to be talking about business today, customer service. But briefly, let me finish sharing some things with you. I just served in the Army for 20 years as a human resource manager. After I retired, I went into the field of education. And as a former educator, I created a program that was referred to, titled Interdisciplinary Student Leadership Training, where I work with teachers and students. My business also has a business side. I'm going to talk about business today with you, in terms of customer service. So let me begin with my presentation. This slide says you can open your business doors, but you cannot lead a customer to the cash register. That is a voluntary act. Having said that, going back to the business aspect of the business, obviously every business needs customers. The diagram that you see in front of you outlines consumer behavior. And as a business major myself, this type of model can be used to help a lot of business leaders from the top down understand the importance of developing the right relationship with the customers and having continued loyal foot traffic coming into the business from their clients. This diagram in front of you maps out the process that's involved with consumer behavior. It begins with the decision process. Those are impacted by the external environment as well as the individual determinants and information processing. But it goes from problem recognition to information searches and evaluation and purchasing processes and post-purchase behavior. There's 3 points I would like to highlight with you regarding this particular slide. And that is, what perspective is needed to understand customers to help a firm or organization accomplish their objective? What methods best convey the intended message? What trends and conditions in the marketplace identify consumers' needs and wants? This particular slide speaks to employee training. And I'd also like to share a short story with you. There's a retail store that I visit sometime here when I go out to shop for something. But very often, I'm sure we've all seen signs like this: now hiring. And the issue is that I want to share with you, this particular store, when I frequent this store, one of the things I've noticed is that each week I would stop into the store to purchase something. Each week, the employees would be a different group of employees every single week. Every single week. So, having said that, one of the things I want to point out is why organizations fail to recruit and retain quality employees. Well, they fail to do this because they fail to identify and define their why work here statement. One of the things that's critically important to any business, regardless of what they do, is leadership from the top down needs to be focused on building high employee satisfaction, high employee loyalty, high customer satisfaction, high customer loyalty, and certainly high profit margins. Motivating employees. This is a critical area. As I mentioned earlier, I have a background in business as well. But the process itself began with people plus process equals performance and profitability. A lot of organizations nationwide use computer-based training customer services program to familiarize and try and help their customers with being better, customer-friendly employees. A lot of organizations also use on-site employee training, also with the same purpose in mind. But every business needs to be mindful of, starting from the top down, with the impact of the cost of employee turnover. Because when those things happen, like the scenario I just mentioned with you, that impacts on the entire organization. It also impacts on the organization financially. And there's intangible costs, customer relations, and stress on coworkers. All of these impact the organization as a whole. Customer service relationship. This is a company-wide process of nurturing positive relationships with their customers. The complexity and largely unobserved nature of consumer behavior. Meaning, in other words, you or I, as a business, cannot see what a person is thinking, but we can certainly use tools enough to help us understand our mission and objective to work better with those customers, turn them into loyal customers, and to make our business to be profitable. There's 3 stimulus variables I'd like to share with you regarding this. And the first one being is that stimulus variables such as advertisements, other people, and products. Response variables are a result of individuals who are initiated by stimulus variables to do something. And lastly, intervening variables. These variables are intended to the individual and can include their motives, attitudes toward things and events, and perceptions of the world in general, in terms of their buying patterns. This is what I'm really speaking to. And my last slide here speaks to what makes satisfied customers. Well, with any business, particularly I'll use retail as an example. A lot of times when customers go to various stores, they'll either have some type of survey where the customer can go online and evaluate the experience, or it's in some stores, they print it off on the receipt that the customer gets. But I use this as an analogy. And the 3 categories up above where I'm mentioning detractors, passive, and promoters. This speaks to the consumer's response to that experience when they visit a particular business. Some examples can include sales help, checkout services, prices, selection, quality of the product itself. And let me stop here to entertain any questions. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Michael, why don't you take a moment to describe your customer, when you get a customer, what sort of customers are hiring you, and how do they engage with you to obtain your services?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, when I retired, I went into education. And in that role, I've been a teacher, assistant principal, associate principal, and dean of students. The organizations I work with, I designed a model from coming from the military and going into the field of education. It's called Interdisciplinary Student Leadership Program. What that involves is I work with teachers and students to help students and teachers become more productive. I'll start with the teachers. With regard to that, I'm teaching the teachers strategies and a model they can use to improve the relationship with their students, because we all know, you look in the news, we see how kids are out of control, there's violence in the schools, etc. So I work with the teachers, I work with the school itself to improve those things, and with the students to have them more engaged. building a teacher-student relationship. In terms of hiring me, what I do, I worked last year, I worked with the director of the YMCA here in the city. And they had a pilot program. And I came in and I worked with the teachers and students there to implement this program and to share them how this model can work. And having been a teacher myself, I clearly understand if there's going to be learning going on, you cannot have a chaotic environment. You've got to have a good relationship with your parents, students, and teachers. And my particular business model guarantees a systematic approach to achieving these desired outcomes and services, and then modifying to any one of three levels of need: efficiency, change, and growth.
Thank you. Thanks, Michael. Anyone else have a question for Michael? I'd want to remind all the presenters to also put your contact information into the chat in case any of our attendees want to follow up with you with an email or phone call. And now we're ready to move along to our final presenter, and that is Leslie Elston. Thanks, Michael.
Sure.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And just thank you so much for taking some time out your day and just listening to this wonderful presentation. So thank you so much. My name is Leslie Elston. I am the owner of Maroc Gourmet Soup Shop. And so being a little bit different, I got kind of pushed into entrepreneurship, so to say, with a crisis in my family's life. So my wife was a flight attendant for 25 years. And in the last couple of years of service, during a flight, she experienced some turbulence, which fractured her coccyx bone. And so she was bedridden for 2 years. And as a result, just kind of got a whole lot of ailments, and with ailments come a lot of prescriptions. So I made an appointment with her primary care physician so we could have a one-on-one conversation, just to find out that the root cause of it was extremely, extremely low iron because of her laying around and inability to walk. So I kind of pondered on it, came up with a spinach soup that was concentrated in iron based on the amount of vegetables I had put in the soup. So I kind of talk to myself, and I go from crisis to comfort is kind of my motto. I say to myself just to continue to encourage me in business. I took 30 years of cooking experience. I began this business in 2017. I literally spent the first 2 to 3 years pretty much giving away soup because I wanted to experience and get feedback from different palates, which require different cultures, and shipping soup to different parts of the United States, and just getting some critical feedback before just jumping into business and think I had a great product just because my wife told me. So I am a certified minority business enterprise owner. I'm a certified veterans business enterprise owner, also with Navoba. My past performance, I have served my soup to Two Brown Girls, which is a veterans home, which purchased my soup on a weekly basis to feed their veterans. Sistro Solutions is a business location out in Florida. So I would ship soup out to Florida for their business also. There was also in North Carolina, the Academy of Young Scholars. I sent specialty soups to them. They are a up and coming daycare center out in that area. Maroc Gourmet Soup is different than any other soup you've experienced. First of all, there are 15 varieties of flavors. They're smooth in textures. And what really stands us out is the amount of vegetables that are used per quart. If you can imagine yourself going to the produce department, picking up a bag of spinach. Well, an average bag of spinach is about 10 ounces. 10 ounces. 10 ounces of vegetables are in 1 quart of my soup, which is just simply unheard of. You couldn't eat that much salad if you wanted to. And so that's what really, really makes us unique. Unlike traditional soups, there's no preservative, there's no GMOs, there's no additives. It is strictly fresh vegetables. They are fresh vegetables. We use fresh herbs. They're blended for a unique taste. And, you know, for the corporate world, it's a perfect meal or supplement for any corporate function. Soup does not weigh down employees, but actually gives them a boost of energy and nutrients to complete a day's work. So I believe all corporations could use a soup like this. Here are some of my varieties, which you've probably not heard of. For instance, I have an avocado soup, which is my personal favorite, portobello and broccoli. I have a beet soup. I have a fennel soup. I even, for the Westerners, I have a rutabaga soup because people on the East Coast have never heard of rutabaga. And we have one of the high-end soups we have is the roasted red pepper soup and a sweet potato soup. So I hope even right now, some people are getting hurry. So the way to order my soup, our website is Maraq Gourmet Soup Shop. That's MARAQ, gourmetsoupshop.com. And actually, I even have the QR code in case you wanted to order some right now that you could click on and put your order in. And so we have a, just from in the local area, I found out there were different needs. And so I broke the packaging down to one flavor variety, which would consist of 1 quart, 3 flavor variety, which are 3 quarts. And then I have a case of 6 varieties that are available. I have been looking into, just recently got my packaging for half gallons as well as gallons also. Here is my corporate profile with my Nexus codes. I am FDA and ODA registered and certified. I am registered with the state of Ohio, Cuyahoga County, as well as the city of Cleveland also. I am also SAM registered. And so lastly, I have a commercial that I would like to share with each and every one of you.
Welcome to Maraq Gourmet Soup Shop, where we sell comfort. Yes, comfort. Are you trying a healthier lifestyle and tired of boring salads? Is dieting leaving you hungry and your current meal selections unenthused about your weight loss journey? Eat a cup of great tasting Maraq soup. We start off with a homemade vegetable broth, so we're vegan friendly. We use fresh herbs and only the best fresh vegetables available. Our best sellers are Ava's Amazing Avocado, Bell's Broccoli and Portobello, and the scrumptious butternut squash. They are smooth, creamy, and very delicious. So order you a quart of comfort today.
So thanks for listening to me.
Welcome to Maraq Gourmet Soup Shop, where we
Whoops.
sell comfort.
If you
Yes,
wonder
comfort.
where I got the names from, they're just very close friends and family that helped me out in the beginning. And just the name of the soup just wasn't good enough for me. I just kind of labeled it with their names on it, and just to give honor to people that helped me out. So thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate it.
Great job. Thanks, Leslie. Does anybody have any questions? You do have a comment here from Dennis. He says, yep, need this soup in my life. Cheers. Anybody else have a question or comment?
Yeah, Leslie, can you tell us, this is Alan Torres from T-Mobile. Can you tell us if you have any, similar to the question I asked Barbara earlier, can you tell us what is sort of the largest amount of shipments that you've done and volume, and have you done any business with sort of large corporations or the corporate world at all?
Okay, with the corporate world, just to kind of reverse, I haven't done any with the corporate world, which makes Navoba kind of like the foundation of just kind of getting my foot in the door. And so, but locally, actually beginning April 1st, one thing I'm really excited about is there's a local business that wants the local bakery actually that contacted me and wants to have my soup inside their store with the bakery. So that's one thing. The highest volume I've ever shipped out was 2 cases of soup out to both Florida and North Dakota. But keep in mind, I ship them out 6 quarts at a time. And so that's the extent of it, besides local vending opportunities that I've done and just delivering product pretty much locally. When it comes to national deliveries, I actually was fortunate enough to get with a company. I have specially insulated boxes that is designed to keep product frozen for at least 2 days. And so that does not even include the special ice pack that I have that keeps product frozen even additionally longer than that. So that's really the extent of any type of commercial experience that I have.
Great, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks for asking.
Well, Leslie, good news. You've got an order here already from Brian Hall. Thanks, Brian. And another question in here from Simone at Hilton Corporation. Are they all purees?
Yes, they are. And I want to tell you really the reason for it. After visiting a couple of nursing homes as well as VA homes, what I found out was they had difficulty swallowing food, period. And so soup was like a fantastic alternative. The best experience I've had was, which really kind of encouraged me, was I had a lady come to me and had a special needs because her boyfriend at the time had cancer, and really during his recovery just could not eat anything. And so the soup was very something that she just constantly purchased just for the sake of him having something that he could digest, and went down smooth because he actually had throat cancer. And so this gave him the ability to have something nutritional and be able to swallow all at the same time. So 15 varieties helped also, because he never had to have the same soup all the time. We could kind of switch up, you know.
Good. Great story. Thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else have any questions for any of the presenters? Make sure you all put your contact information in the chat, please. And while we do still have a few minutes left, I've got an ask, and I want to see if Matt or Mimi have anything they want to add as well. But as you all know, I work with all of the incoming veteran applicants who are applying to Novoba for certification. So this message really is for our corporate allies. We thank you, many of your co-workers and employees, especially your members of your employee resource groups, have volunteered to help Novoba with the site visit process. This is part of our certification that is essential to completing everyone's application for veteran business certification. Well, good news is we have just a really uptick in volume of applications. The bad news is I need some more site visitors. So I'm asking, please, if you do have any coworkers or any new folks on your teams that would be available to be trained, I want to encourage their participation and join me for a training to learn how to be a Novoba site visitor, and continue to support Novoba as you all do. Through your participation and attendance at so many of our functions. But right now we're really in need of some more site visitors. So if there's anybody that would like to know more about that experience, or is ready to get trained, I'm going to put my contact information in here, and please refer anybody my way who has some time available to support Novoba as a site visitor. And I'll see if Mimi or Matt has anything they'd like to add.
Hi, everybody. This is Mimi. Thanks for your presentations today. We have a few new people joining us today, so I hope you got some value out of seeing what we do here. And just wanted to remind you again, if you haven't completed your profile in the database, please go in and complete it. And that goes for our corporations as well as our veteran businesses. If you don't have your credentials to get in on the corporate side, send me an email. We'll make sure that you get them. And thanks again. I hope you guys have a great Monday.
Yes, kicking off a great week. If no one has anything else to add, we'll say happy Monday afternoon and have a great week, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.